First off, one of the biggest features that people are talking about is the new career mode. It's way more detailed than I expected. You start by customizing your own avatar, from changing the face to the clothes, even the voice can be changed. So once you're in, it's not just about flying from point A to point B. You've got missions, specializations, and actual check rides you have to pass to get new ratings, which unlock different aircrafts. It's a structured way to progress, but it still leaves a lot of room that you can use to pick your own path, whether that's helicopters, jets, search and rescue, or a whole bunch of other things. There's a lot to be excited for, I think, in career mode, and this is going to be one of those areas that's going to be a game changer, I think, for flight sim, and it's going to bring a lot of people into flight sim that probably weren't interested before, because now you have that objective, you have that goal, you have that career, that job that you can now do and kind of earn and try to learn about aviation in a realistic way, while going out and trying to fight fires or achieve different things, some of those neat career opportunities that you would like to explore. So next we have the missions, which are really impressive. There are over 3 million dynamically generated missions based on things like weather, season, and region you're flying in. You could be rescuing a skier in Colorado during the winter, or you could be doing a medevac mission in Alaska. Plus, the attention to detail is just crazy. For example, if you're flying commercial missions, they're based on real-world flights happening that day. So that's something that's pretty cool and adds a lot of immersion to your flight sim. Now let's talk about the aircraft. Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 is packed with a wider variety of planes than ever before. We've got everything from usual GA planes and airliners to helicopters, amphibian planes or aircrafts, and even hot air balloons if you're into that. And also I've seen airships as well. One of the aircraft I can't wait to fly is actually the Draco X, which is a beast of a bush plane that can take off and land in a super short distance. So if you're into those bush planes, that would be a really neat one to try. And I'm interested to see how it's going to fly. Actually, GA flying, general aviation, that is what I'm most excited for when it comes to flight sim in 2024, especially because it seems like that's a lot of the stuff they're adding in. For example, like I'll get into it later, but the mesh is increased and allows, now you can actually feel the bumps in the plane as you're landing, and it's not just going to be a flat surface, but we'll get into that again later on. So if you're into unique planes, there's going to be a ton of cool stuff in here that we can explore, as well as I'm sure the add-ons and everything like that. Of course, just like Flight Sim 2020, I believe all that's going to be brought in, so we shouldn't have any issues with add-ons, I hope, but it's going to be pretty neat. Okay, so graphics. So this is a big one here. The developers, as I was mentioning, have actually added a lot more surface detail, and they say it's actually 4,000 times more surface detail than before. So when you're landing, you're actually dealing with rocks, mud, and different terrain types. This isn't just for show either. You'll need to scope out your landing spots and adjust based on the terrain. It's not all going to be flat anymore. Plus the biomes, cloud formations, and lighting are on another level. So if you've seen some of the comparison photos, there's some comparison photos, you'll see that there's actually huge differences in the amount of detail in the quality of landscape that we're seeing. Like the Grand Canyon and Mount Fuji are the two that I've seen comparison, and although 2020 looks amazing, but now you compare it to 2024 and you're like, wow, that is a serious upgrade. It almost looks like a real photograph now. So it's pretty neat to see that there's these changes. If you just look at 2024, you're like, oh, it's not that much of a change. But once you start comparing it to some of the scenery in 2020, you really start to notice a big difference. For example, like the trees and stuff, like the type of trees that you see around, you would see a huge difference between the type of trees we have now and the detail in those trees compared to what we're getting in 2024. Now, one of the things to note, some of the veteran simmers might feel a little weird about the whole career mode, especially the fact that you have to pass these check rides to unlock licenses. So that could be an issue for some people if they want to just kind of jump in ahead and they already understand how to fly and they just want to get into the certain type of mission. So those are some of the best takeaways I've gathered from watching the earlier videos or early access videos. It's clear that Microsoft 2024 is more than just a visual upgrade. It's a full evolution of what flight sims can be, from a mission variety to aircraft and even career progressions. So if you're as excited as I am, make sure to keep an eye out for updates as we get closer to the release. So if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and I'll be covering more. So also hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. Also, I'm going to include the links to these other videos in my description, so make sure you check out their videos to see the full details on what they've discovered firsthand from them. There's people in there like Jeff Favignano and a whole bunch of other YouTubers that have been in the flight sim world for a long time. So take a look at them, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.